This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. To pre-order Foundations, use my link in the description. Hello everybody, we are doing our first Foundations draft. So this Hydra's like pretty good. It has a really high ceiling where like, it runs away with the game. It does have a miserable floor because it starts so small. But like, it does have a pretty insane ceiling. I think I like it a little more than Dragon Trainer. I do like both of these cards a lot. But I think I like the Hydra a little bit more. I think those are really the cards we're looking at. I mean, Essence Scatter and Angel of Finality are solid cards, but I do think the Trainer and Hydra are better. And it's early, so let's just take the rare. It's probably going to die to Burst Lightning a time or two, but it'll probably run away with the game on occasion as well. Balmor is pretty sweet. Signpost uncommon. Obviously, we took a green card with our first pick, so that's not the most ideal. And in general, like, your chances of ending up in two colors isn't super high. I do like Felidar Savior a lot. It's also a counter card like the Hydra is. And it's just a really good card. You get so much for 4 mana. The Parent's good too. These are both really good white commons. White seems like it has a lot of really good commons. Yeah, and Balmor is kind of next on the list. The rest of these cards you kind of need the right deck for. Or aren't that good, like Mischievous Pup. Yeah, it's the Savior. I mean, pack one, pick one, I'd be maybe a little more inclined to take Balmor. I don't know if that's correct, quote unquote. But I've also played with Balmor before, which, in the early stages of a limited format, it's like, do I really need to take a card I've already played? So Resolute Reinforcements is pretty good. Why do I have all these card styles? Are they like carryovers from the original sets these were in? I don't know. But this is a good card. 2 bodies, 2 mana. The Librarian's not bad. Yeah, I think it's just the reinforcements. I think it's a pretty easy pick. I do like Micromancer a lot. Like, if you have 2 Burst Lightnings or 2 Stabs or something, like, it's pretty insane to just draw a 1 mana removal spell. But you need the right deck, obviously. And we'll just take this good 2-drop. Okay. This is pretty strong to still be here, honestly. It's expensive, but this format feels like it's slow enough that, like, seems like a pretty good card. Dwynnin is nice. I mean, you're going to end up with a few Elves, and the baseline's not terrible. The Wolf and the Giant Growth are both okay, too. I'm thinking about the Demon a little bit. I mean, it is definitely the best card in this pack. It's just a question of, is the format slow enough? And certainly with the first 3 picks we made, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, our deck's kind of aggressive, right? So I think I'm going to take Dwynnin here. I do think a 7-drop like that is legit, but, like, yeah, interesting here. So here's Dwynnin's Elite. So there's a bunch of good green cards here. I like the Giant, I like the Elite, I like the Truffle Snout, and we have another Resolute Reinforcements. It's probably just Reinforcements again, as unexciting as that is. This, you can end up in a deck that can make Elf tokens, and if we get enough of it going, it does make this better. It is a 2-drop. Maybe I'll talk myself into it, especially in the first draft, just like force Elves and see what happens. Yeah, all right, I talked myself into it. I think this is probably the correct pick, but we'll take the Elite and see what happens. All right, Dazzling Angel's fine. Joust Through might just be better, though. It is less good if we are an aggro deck, but it's still, like, okay, because you can kill blockers. Yeah, I think I like it a little bit more than the Angel. Okay, so this is definitely the best card that's still here. We're just going to take it. It just gives you 2 bodies. This is an okay 2-drop. The rest of these cards, not particularly good. The Adept's okay, so. Okay, Snare Spinner's not terrible. It's probably what we take here. I think the Elemental might be a better card, but it does do stuff with counters. And, I don't think Synergy is massive in the format, but that is what Green-White does, counter things. Does get better with our Hydra, for example. Evolving Wilds is extra good when you have Landfall, incidentally. We did pass one. I think it was right when we passed it, but yeah. This is a pretty strong card. Yeah. So then there's this pack. Wow, Dragon Trainer is still here? All right. Maybe we'll be red-green. I don't know. Like, that is a really good card to still be there. I'm a little shocked. Especially because, like, people are always excited about dragon cards, which in the early stages of a draft you'd think would move it up in the pick order. But, I mean, I'm not going to feel terrible if we end up not playing any of these white cards, for example. Or I guess any of these green cards. I guess either one could happen. The Ranger's fine. Surprise is fine. Rugged Highlands, you know, it is a nice gain land. But I think cutting the last green card has merit here. If someone to our left is in green, they're more likely to get out of it here. And I think we do want to be in green. Okay. So we've got a Prowler here. Could do the same thing. Or take a gain land. Yeah, I feel like cutting green is worth it again. Yeah, the Rallier is passable. Didn't see that much to indicate red was crazy open, other than the, like, 8th pick Dragon Trainer. So, might still be green-white. Yeah, I don't think that's very good. Just asks way too much for limited. It's going to be good in other formats, you know. Formats where you just throw a bunch of combat tricks on this and give it trample. Archmage of Runes is good, but you do pretty much have to be in a blue deck. I mean, well, obviously, but like especially blue-red. It is really strong though. Pack one, pick one. I think you take it. Even though it takes some work, it has a really high ceiling. We, however, are not in pack one, pick one. So I think we're looking at Needletooth pack, Elf Sworn Giant, which also has Landfall. You know, we've also got Evolving Wilds. I like the pack a lot. I mean, setting it up to get 2 counters isn't that hard. This does make elves. This is an elf. So, you know, we have few elf things pulling us, but I think this is probably the best card. It'll be interesting to see how the giant pans out. I do think the low toughness will keep it from being nuts. Instead, it's probably just good. This has the potential to be pretty nuts, so. Ooh, Muldrotha. That is a fun card. I don't really think we can make it work at this stage. I mean, it's not impossible, but we don't have any fixing, and we're only in one of its colors. We could change that, but, you know. So the Librarian's pretty good. Grow from the Ashes in the right deck is good. I do like the Immolator, but not really enough to, say, hedge and go all the way into red. Like, if I'd seen more signs, I mean, maybe the Trainer should be enough, but I think we'll just take the good green card. Oh my god. Somebody can have 2 Muldrothas? Well, there's an Abrade here, which is quite good, obviously. Inspiring Paladin, and, you know, we're doing counter things. It's pretty good. Fleeting Flight's a good trick. Maybe we're in the market for a trick at this point in the draft. Because, yeah, I mean, what we really need are low drops, more so than just like another 3-drop. This is a good 3-drop, though, for our deck. Abrade is better, and we still don't have such good white cards that I think it's crazy to, you know, I think I am going to take Abrade. I think it's good enough. And it's not like the other red card we have is really good. Now we get Coma. And the green-white Signpost. Coma's tough if you're not blue. Like, splashing it, you know, with Grow from the Ashes in the format, splashing it is more doable because you could run 2 islands and get both of them. So that's a thing. But I do sort of feel like taking the Signpost makes sense given what our deck looks like overall. Bite Down's good, but we'll take the green-white Signpost here. Okay, probably Gnarlid Colony. We could take Windscarred Crag. Makes it easier for us to splash a Braid, but we need low drops enough, and this one can even do counter things, so it's okay. I mean, it's not a great card, but it'll work. This is a really good Signpost, too, the red-white one. This does stuff with counters, but it's so expensive that it kind of puts me off. Like, it's never efficient, and it's, you know, kind of slow. I think maybe I'd rather just have an Ambush Wolf. I mean, we could try to go for counter synergy. Let's do it. Whatever. Okay. So 2 huge 6 drops, both of which I think are very playable. But I'm not so sure that's what our deck's doing. I feel like Fleeting Flight probably makes the most sense for us. It's a nice trick. All right, here we'll pick up an Elf-Sworn Giant. This land doesn't help us. None of these red cards are great. Okay, I think we take an Evolving Wilds. It gives us good fixing, and we've got a few landfall cards. So, you know, pretty hard to say no to that. Now that Immolator's still here. Do I want a Jungle Hollow or to say... I just don't think red's going to be a base color, and that's not really a 2-drop you splash, so we'll take a land. Another Fleeting Flight works for me, I think. Yep. We probably splash a Braid. Well, now it's even easier to do it if we want. We did have to pass like some cool cards like Muldrotha and stuff. Okay. Well, let's do it. We will take the Elvish Archdruid. How many elves do we have right now? We have 3 plus a giant who makes them. You know, I think deeper into the format, the right pick here is probably like Vanishing Light. But Elvish Archdruid's pretty good. And yeah, now we really want to take all the elves. Although Reclamation Sage not really the elf you're looking for in a format that doesn't have that many artifacts or enchantments for it to hit. Here's the Fishing Pole. I am curious about that card. I didn't give it a good review. It's not a card I love, but I am curious about it. And it might be pretty good. I mean, its ability to generate a token every turn cycle isn't terrible. The lack of a stats boost kind of is, but none of these picks are none of these cards are very good for us. So the pup, yeah, we'll take the pup. I don't know that it's going to make the cut, but okay. We have a Braid. Also Claws out. How many cats do we have? Not very many. Probably take Prideful Parent, though. Speaking of cats, gives us a couple bodies. All these animals. Our dog had fairly minor surgery yesterday to remove like a mass she had on her lip, and it needed like 1 suture, but she has to wear the cone and everything. And last night was not a good night of her adjusting to her cone. Yeah, we've all been there as dog owners, I think. Or I guess if you have kids, it's probably, you know, a more minor version of when your kid won't sleep. That's what it was like. How much life gain do we have? Do we have enough to make the Pride Mate? I mean, we've got like 4 cards that gain life. I feel like it's a little better than Gnarlid Colony. With that in mind, to take the Pride Mate, yeah. Dauntless Veteran. Got 2 of these big guys again. But I think we're probably interested in the Veteran. We're pretty good at going wide. It is double wide. I don't love that. I just feel like we're kind of supposed to be a lower curve deck, as opposed to one grabbing some 6 drops. All right, we will grab another elf here. We do have, what, 3 elf payoffs? I mean, yeah. We're definitely into some elf stuff. Okay. Very happy with the Dwynen's Elite. It is interesting there's another Dragon Trainer. People in this pod don't like that card, I guess. I think we can splash a Braid without much cost between Evolving Wilds and a Windscarred Crags. We'd probably do it. I mean, it's good all game long, generally speaking. So. Okay. Do I take a big guy here? Probably over another Snare Spinner. Yeah. Adventuring Gear. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we play it, but I'll grab it. Come on, give us some more Dwynen's Elites. Take a Fishing Pole here. Those are 2 pretty playable black cards. Bunch of mediocre red cards. Red does seem like it was open, I guess. I mean, it wasn't insanely so, I don't think, but... the dragon trainers. Yeah, okay. I'll take a basically free Gnarlid colony. Definitely have some trimming to do. It's always the case early where it's harder to tell what cards, especially these days. Like most cards that get Ds or Fs these days, even Fs, like they're not like a disaster if you play them, but they have like a way lower chance of helping you consistently than other cards do, you know? So it's harder to tell, like, I can't play this card because it's so much worse than the other cards. It's harder to tell that at this point. Yeah, so I don't love the Prowler. It's pretty hard to set up the ward, and I think lowering our curve is probably the priority. Like, these 3/4s probably aren't that good. I do think our 5s and our 1/6 are impressive enough that we probably keep them around, but, like, the Rallier, not that great. Prowler, not that great. And Snare Spinner, not that great. I think those are pretty easy to cut, and then we hold on to those. I mean, we could cut the Stomper. It's not like it's a card I love. It's definitely better if you're like a grindier sort of ramp deck, which our deck has elements of, but it feels more like we're an aggro deck than anything, like curving out and whatnot. So I think we probably cut the Stomper. Then that leaves us with one more cut. We do have enough ways. We have like 4 or 5 ways to gain life still. Like some of them are repeatable, like Dwinin. So that's nice. This has lifelink, for example. Ooh, yeah, it's probably the pup. It's probably the pup. Yeah, we have plenty of creatures. I mean, we have a few that have good enters triggers, but none of them are, like, that good. So, yeah, I think it's the pup. It's not really where we want to be. All right, I think our deck looks pretty good. You know, I made some interesting choices because it's our first draft of the format. I'm curious to see how the Scourge plays. But we do have enough ways to put counters on things that I think it's okay. It's not a card it wasn't that good in Dominaria or wherever we saw it. And that format even had Proliferate, and this one doesn't. So it's probably not going to be awesome, but I can live with it. All right, let's get into the games. Okay, looks pretty good. You know, hopefully we find red at some point, but even if we don't, we have a decent curve here. Need some more elves to show up, but other than that, you know, turn 2 colonies fine, and into Prideful Parents fine. Now I think we probably play the Ranger first. We could play the Druid first. I mean, we're doing this, so I don't need to talk about it that much right now. But whether we play this first because it'll get a buff off of the Archdruid, or whether it's better to play... Now that they played a 0/4, I feel a little more inclined to play the Ranger first, because we need to punch through this. I don't love the barrier. But if it turns out a lot of 2s and 3s can't attack through it in this format, it, you know, might be better than I expect. It'd be really nice in a format that had, like, when an artifact enters triggers, since it gives you 2 of them. Okay, so this is going to feel pretty good because I can go Archdruid. Yeah, we want to play the Archdruid so that we get the buff and the +1. And now, like, yeah, they cannot block our Ranger effectively. They do get a treasure here, but I think we're okay with that overall. Does kind of look like they're a crazy 5-color deck or something, though, in which case the treasure is definitely more valuable. And our deck definitely... We don't have that much removal. We're kind of counting on tricks as removal. So, that's worth keeping in mind. Meanwhile, they're all about the... hardcore ramp, which I hope that strategy's viable. Okay, so if I play my Ranger first, Yeah, so let's play the Ranger. And then we do this. And play Prideful Parent. And attack for 7. Alright. Pretty sweet. They're probably, I was going to say, they're probably going to play something huge. They're at 12, huh? So what happens here if I play Pride Mate and, like, swing with everything? Can I find a way to get in for 12? It's kind of what I have to do because Koma's going to hit me and, like, give them 4 tokens, at which point the game's pretty much over. Oh, I don't have the white mana, actually, to do it. Maybe I'm supposed to swing out here and then use Fleeting Flight, like, next turn to do lethal. That might actually be the best route to take. The question is whether I want to attack with my Druid. Because a bunch of damage gets through here. Like, let's say they block the 2 big ones. They still take 7, and Fleeting Flight gives us some lethal potential. Yeah, because we just have to accept the fact that they're going to get 4 3/3s. Yeah, let's just do it. I think this gives us our best hope, basically, of finding lethal. We just let him hit us here, make a bunch of tokens. We kind of need them to tap out to feel okay about things, but I kind of doubt that they do. Like, if they hang on to interaction, okay, they kind of did tap out. Love it. I think that means we win. Yep, it does. Nothing has reach, right? Nothing over there has secret reach. Yukoma's coils don't have reach? No. Good. That's what I like to see. They're tapped out, and they have no reach. Attack for 4. Whew. That Koma was scary, but our deck ended up being fast enough that we overcame it. We did get smashed in the face for 8, and they got their tokens, but we did so much damage before that it was okay. It was alright. Sometimes you gotta take 8 to the face and give your opponent 4 tokens. Thank God they don't have reach. Koma's already a bomb, I think, and if those tokens had reach, finding lethal would be pretty impossible. Alright, we got the Archdruid and Dwynnin. Will this be the most elf-heavy deck I ever draft in this format? I think there's a good chance it is. I don't think it's going to happen all that often. Alright. Well, we're going to run this thing out again on 2. I mean, I kind of want to play the Unicorn first because I'm greedy, but against a red opponent, the chances that they have Burst Lightning are, like, just a little bit too high. Okay, now I probably try to set up elf things instead, right? Because I have, like, all the elf stuff. Although the Unicorn does get better. Yeah, let's attack and see what happens here. Burst Lightning is just so bad against that Unicorn. It's bad against Elvish Archdruid, too, I guess. Could just play the Ranger, just because it's the biggest creature, and then play out the elf stuff. Like, that doesn't seem terrible. But the Unicorn does give us such a big advantage if it stays in play. The Archdruid sets up more flexibility next turn in terms of mana, but also is bad against Burst Lightning. Well, I'm going to play the Unicorn and see what happens. And Burst Lightning. After all that thinking. There's a good chance, I think. We're up against another opponent going seemingly 3 colors. Oh yeah, Goldvein pick is sweet. Enjoy your treasure. Ow. Well, at least they didn't Burst Lightning us. The Scourge is interesting because I could play it for 2 here. It'll enter with another counter. And then everything I play from here on out will get counters. I am greedy, but I honestly think that's pretty powerful. I mean, we're going to take some damage in the short run, but so are they. So I guess we'll attack, and if Good Fortune Unicorn like dies to Joust, we can choose a different tactic here. It does not. So let's do this. Should I have gone the elf route instead of the counters route? I don't know. We're going to do both in the long run, assuming there is a long run. Yeah, I might hit it with a braid. That's less painful than, oh. And that's a lot less painful, because at least I had to pay 3, you know? Youthful Valkyrie. Yeah, that's more than a little bit annoying. I'm probably going to wait until I have a land to play this. Yeah. So let's attack with both of these. Get in for 2. They may not want to block, which I guess is okay with me, yeah. And then we'll play the Ranger, which will be a 4/4. Sarah Angel here would be less than ideal, let's say. So would more removal. Getting choked on 3 mana has not been helpful. But, you know, these things happen. Dwynnin would be pretty nice, because it'd enter as a 4/5, and I could start gaining life. Okay. Don't hate it. I really don't hate that they didn't attack. Oh my. So we can make this Hydra huge now. Absolutely huge. Alright, so let's play Mossborn Hydra. Let's play an Evolving Wilds. I think we attack with Beastkin Ranger here, because it's a big hit if they take it. And if they don't take it, well, they have to lose some stuff. So, yeah. I think we'd rather... Oh, yeah, damage is different now. I don't have to decide anything. It's just gonna do the thing. Well, I do decide, but I decide later. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, we'll kill the Rallier. And I'm just gonna do this now. Do we grab our Mountain? I mean, if we draw a Braid, we're going to be pretty annoyed, and it's not like... Yeah, so let's just grab our Mountain. And up to 8/8 it goes. So if we draw a land, it becomes a 16/16. Dwynnin's going to be a good play. Like, even if they kill our Hydra here, playing Dwynnin is pretty strong. Alright, so we do draw the land, which is good news for us. They could definitely have removal. I mean, let's find out. I could also go Elvish Archdruid, Dwynnin's Elite. That might actually be better. And then Dwynnin next turn. Because if I do that, they like all enter with counters. I don't even think that keeps you from dying, does it? I guess it will. They'll just lose their entire board in the process and not kill our Hydra. That's brutal. Oh, yeah, I guess they go to 1. Yeah. If I'd attacked with everything, I guess they have lethal, but in a world where they have removal, that attack turns into a nightmare, and it's not like we're not still heavily favored to win, you know? Let's just run out our elves while we're at it. They draw a Wrath. It's possible. Wouldn't be the craziest. Day of Judgment's in the format. We do still have Dwynen's Elite in our hand, though, so it wouldn't be... Or Dwynen Guiltleaf Dane, that is. We just buff all our elves. Oh, okay. So what do they tap here? I think they might actually be able to survive now, maybe? Probably not. No. They have 4 blockers and I have 5 attackers, plus... Yeah. Alright. Well, 2 games have gone pretty well so far. Got to do elf stuff in both of them, and we went off with our rare Hydra in the other one. Drawing that Evolving Wilds when we did was a beautiful thing. Like, plus, you know, we had Evolving Wilds in our hand, and we had our card in play that made it enter with a counter. So far, we haven't eaten the Burst Lightning on our 3-mana 2/2. It's gonna happen, and it's gonna feel bad when it does. But when it doesn't, there's also Stab. It's not even just Burst Lightning. That's part of the problem. There are 2 1-mana commons that kill 3-mana 2/2s and 4-mana anything. Ooh, that's scary. So, you know, it gives the same boost as Embercleave for comparison. Can't play it at instant speed, but like it's a good boost is the point, and you get to put it into play for free when it's in your opening hand like that. So I think if they block, we're pretty happy to kill Tiny Bones. So yeah, I mean, I think that's fine. And if they don't block, we play Gnarlid Colony. So again, we probably want to wait on Mossborn Hydra until we have a turn where we can play land too. Yeah! So we take 4. Yep. Well, do I have to stop attacking and just like... I mean... Just playing a 3 toughness creature is pretty good, I guess. It's not that good. It would be with... No, even with Joust Through, it doesn't really get the job done. I mean, we could try and race. Don't see that going super well, though. But I guess for now, it's the plan. Freaking Leyline Axe. Probably play our Hydra next turn. Maybe we'll be lucky enough to draw our Wilds again. Although if we don't, we can at least leave up Joust Through, so... Okay, I like that they didn't attack. So yeah, we definitely play Hydra here. Then we're going to play a land. Then we're going to attack with the 4/3. See what happens there. They kill each other. Works for me. If they equip this, I can kill it with Joust Through. I can kill a lot of things with Joust Through, even if they get equipped. Just not Tiny Bones. We've been a little unfortunate with our Abrade. The one game where we had red mana, we didn't draw it, you know. Okay, so up to 4/4 we go. Maybe. Looks like they have stab. Yeah. So probably just play Needletooth Pack now. Yeah, we don't attack now. I could, you know, with this, but I don't think that's worth it when our pack can do this. Do its thing. I'm glad the aberration is small right now, that's for sure. Alright, so we definitely attack with both of these. You know, attacking with all three isn't even that bad. Oh, I can only activate that as a sorcery. No, only once. Okay. See, I think we attack with all three, and we see what happens. Joust Through can mess up a lot of situations. Do I mess up this situation with Joust Through? Probably. Which means I should use this ability. Because now they have to spend the mana to equip it again and everything. And trample damage happens. They go to 6. And we get to Morbid again. Let's give this trample now. Yeah, that is going to grow. There goes our mountain, which is not great. So they can almost do lethal here just with Leyline Axe because they got such a good mill trigger. That's pretty awesome. Not for us, but... Because they milled 5 cards off of it, which is not... You're usually going to mill like 2 or 3. But they milled 5. Yeah. I cannot get through for lethal, no matter how you slice it here. I need our flying thing again. Well, let's play a kicked Gnarlid Colony. I mean, they don't need much in terms of a mill trigger now. Yeah, make me discard a Braid. They do only mill 1 card, but then they make me discard our 1 card in hand. I mean, I think if I were them, I'd swing, but I guess if I even keep 1 creature alive, they lose, so I guess I can see why they're not. Wait a second. They're at 6 here. I now have 4 tramplers. Their 2 1/1s can block, but that they take trample. They take lethal trample damage. Did I have lethal trample damage last turn and overlook it? They do gain... They will gain 2 life, which takes them up to 8, but it's still too much trample damage. Yeah, I think I may have missed that last turn, just because I was so in awe of their giant double striker, but... Luckily, we didn't pay the price. We didn't do any elf things that game. Or, yeah. Seems like a pretty good aggro deck, though, overall. The and that 5-mana 4/5 Morbid creature was doing some work there. Okay. Let's draw Evolving Wilds when we have both of those in play. That'd be cool. be cool. Yep, Infestation Sage is good. That is for sure. Nice one drop. Yeah, don't love that. Next turn, I may just leave mana up for Joust through. I mean, yeah, I try to block this. Yeah, I'm down with that trade. Okay. I'm a lot less down with it now. Yeah, that's gross. I get to reanimate. So, I could play Wildward Scourge here as a 1/1. Leave up Joust through. I don't hate that. Because then I play the Hydra, and it'll put... Oh, it says non-Hydra, doesn't it? They did that to prevent an infinite loop, but in this case, it actually stops our... Yeah, is there a reason to run it out as a 1/1 now? I'm skeptical. Playing Felidar Savior will do something, but I do need another creature. I don't know. I think we do it. I mean, just getting something on board seems worthwhile to me. It is sad that it doesn't work with our with our combo, but doesn't combo how we want it to. Hopefully we can kill Alesha here. You know, if we can't, even if we do, we're gonna take a bunch of damage here. So. Eaten Alive is pretty great with that card. Luckily, we get rid of her, so no more reanimation. Bad news is Cerberus gets to untap. And that is bad news. Don't. I probably play the Giant next turn, even though I can't also play land. Well, I can, but not after the Giant comes into play. So, Mossborn Hydra might be dead. Definitely take 4 if Cerberus attacks us. Oh my god. Why do you have all these good cards? Alright, so 4/4. Like, I'd be pretty ecstatic right now if I could get them to block. Maybe I wouldn't, because I can at least play a reach creature here. I'd be okay with it, though. Yeah, let's attack. If they block with a hunter, great. If they don't, they take that damage, and then we play a reach creature, who, even when they sack something to this, can still kill it. Let's hope they don't have a braid, though. That would be bad. Or murder, or whatever it is. Hero's Downfall, I guess, in this format. 3 mana. Oh yeah, Infernal Vessel's so good. So they'll sack it here and get a creature and draw a card. And I pretty much have to block High Society Hunter. Like, I can't let this huge flyer continue its onslaught here. Luckily that worked. They get to draw a bunch off of it, but leaving it in play is even worse, so... Oh man, that is painful. So we do have an 8/8 Trampler here. They can swing back at us for 9. But I imagine we're supposed to just swing for 8 here. Make them block with both of these and take some damage. And hope we draw well from there. Although, I guess if I draw another land, it's like unstoppable, and it's not like they can attack me with their small creatures. So it's actually probably better to pass. I mean, if they have removal, we're kind of out of luck, but... Oh, hello. Well, there's a Braid. That does not solve our problems for us. This can hit us for 7 on its own next turn. Yeah, so we just have to pass here. And be ready to take 8 in the air, I guess. I guess if I attack here, depending on how they block, I could break the double block up with a Braid. But they can also just not block, take 8 and swing for lethal. So 7, 8, and then I block. Yeah, so we have to pass and hope we draw a land and that they alpha strike, basically. Braid's not the worst draw, but land actually would have been better in that situation. Because we would have attacked and they would have had to block a bunch, you know? That is one of the funny things about landfall, is suddenly drawing a land is like the best situation. Now drawing a land doesn't quite do the job because they only have to barely survive and then kill us, which they can certainly do, so... Ooh, that is... That's like the best perforating artist of all time. So, I'm at 3, right? So, I could have Braid something here, but then I don't have anything to discard. Or I could, yeah, so I have to hold on to a Braid or I die, because I don't have another permanent to sacrifice. And if we draw Evolving Wilds, we do have lethal. Like, that's our only out, I think, Evolving Wilds. That's pretty much it. So yeah, we'll because then it becomes a 16-16. No, 32-32 is what it would be. Darn it. We're gonna attack with our 16-16 just for fun. Maybe they accidentally click no blocks. No, they don't. Yep, they got us. There was just too much value. The that High Society Hunter is what broke us. They got like a 3-for-1 out of it. And it's what we had to do. I mean, I can't imagine it would have been correct to just like let it keep attacking us and sacking for value and drawing them cards. So, yeah. We just wanted to draw lands there late. Because we would have had a 32-32, even without Evolving Wilds. It's not a bad hand. Not a bad hand. I'd be cool never drawing another land, though. Although, unless we get a landfall thing. Gnarlid Colony has been our super underwhelming 2-drop many times. But, you know, that's what it is. And if they counter it, sure. Oh, they don't. Do I block an Elementalist Adept if it attacks me here? Probably. I probably do. Because they need 2 spells. Well, I guess just the 1 mana -1/-0 spell is really bad news. Yeah, we'll just take the hit. That card would break us, because it would drop this to a 1/2, and then that would get the buff, so... Let's see. Let's attack. That Llanowar Elves is annoying, but at least they didn't play it on 1, you know? Do we get to resolve our Good Fortune Unicorn? Probably not. Yeah, maybe we do. Maybe now it gets bounced, though. Or bite downed. Alright, I mean, you know, I would rather have a good Fortune Unicorn, but... a bunch of mana, there are worse things than a bunch of mana, you know? I think... I guess just kicked Gnarlid Colony's pretty good here. Yeah. It's just a big creature. I can also play the Librarian and draw with it right away, which is sort of like a kicker as well. Yeah, I don't think we block that. There is one raid card in blue where sometimes you can get nice attacks off your prowess creatures, and it's like, whoops. But luckily they didn't do that to us. So let's attack with both of these. I think at this point we start to hold on to lands because of landfall. Okay, I mean... that is not too upsetting. They can flash theirs back into play, which is a little bit annoying. Maybe they have Essence Scatter, too. Something like that. They could have flashed it back in and blocked the other Gnarlid Colony, which is kind of funny. So yeah, we'll just kick this again. Leave up our Fleeting Flight mana, just in case. I mean, it can definitely come up. Only prevents combat damage, so that's worth remembering. It does not prevent other things. Which, speaking of which, they do have to, well, if they decide to fight our colony here, we just buff our colony and their Indrik dies. Okay, that works too. I guess I maybe should have blocked when this attacked, although they had run away together up, so it would have gotten... it would have been bad for Fleeting Flight. Now there's our red mana. I do probably play it out. Do I attack with our colony here? I think I do. If they block, I use Fleeting Flight. And if they don't, I do 4. And then, yeah, we'll play our Librarian. I guess Joust is a 1, yeah. We grow our Librarian. Yeah, and then we'll end our turn. Yeah, I take 4. I think if the Adept attacks now, I probably block, because I have to cast so many spells. Yeah, we'll take 4. I hope they don't have the Raid Pirate, who's like a 5-mana, 4/3 flyer draw card. That isn't what it is, so that's good. It is a nice little 2-drop, though. They didn't want another one, though. Man, we don't have an elf in play. It was bound to happen eventually, I guess. I don't hate attacking with both our creatures here. I mean, I don't love that they have mana up. But... the trample is real, and Fleeting Flight could really mess up a double block. I mean, they can also just block with the Adept and the Thespian and kill our colony, but then they still take 2, lose both of those, and then we're just looking at a 4/4, basically. They also block with the Elves and stuff. Yeah, let's attack with... I'm going to attack with both of these. Let's see what happens. Why aren't you an elf, werewolf? What's that about? Do I try to Fleeting Flight here? I sort of think the answer is yes. I'm a little worried they've got interaction. But I think it gives us our best chance to win. Interaction hurts. Less so if it's a bounce spell. Okay, well, our creature still doesn't die, and theirs still does. So that works for me. I can live with it. Combat damage is prevented, so they need something else to make our creature die. I mean, it even has 4 toughness, actually, so it doesn't... It's not dead anyway. Nice. We even get some trample in there. So we drop them to 4. They do get a surveil. They didn't want Essence Scatter, so they're looking for something to push us now. God, I wish I got a token out of this. They were like, oh no, do they have an elf? And the answer, unfortunately, is no. Like I said, I think because of landfall, at this point, in this late stage of the game, I think I'm just going to run that out. It does bluff more things if we have double red. We've got 2 4/4 Tramplers. They're at 4. And they don't attack us. I like that. I don't like that I didn't draw anything meaningful, though. I probably attack with both Tramplers here. They do have 2 cards in their hand, and they've got interaction and a deck with prowess, so I don't think attacking with all 3 is very wise. I mean, they kind of have to block with the Indrik on one of the 4/4 Tramplers if they don't have something. And it sort of feels like they don't. Like, if they really had something, they would have used it. They may have drawn it, right? But... yeah, I think we still just attack with the 2 Tramplers here and see what happens. Yeah, don't love that, but could be worse. It's going to shrink back down and not be that big of a threat here in a second, so... would be nice to draw one of our elf payoffs. We're going to take 2. Ugh. And we're going to attack them for 2. Oh no. That's almost game. Two spells and we're dead. We don't have that many cards that can win us the game from this position either. I guess, like, the Reach Elf Token Maker would be pretty good. Yeah, that would be good. Okay. Where was that Evolving Wilds? Other games. Well, we won our first 3, and we lost our next 2, unfortunately, so... let's see how this goes. That game didn't really have a play where it felt like the game completely turned around on us either. It just sort of did. I mean, you know, there were some bad draws mixed in when I drew 3 lands in a row or whatever late. But, you know, they also used their giant growth effectively. Could they have used it on their other creature and prowess buffed theirs and kept their bigger creature? I think maybe they could have. That is one gross thing about tricks, is they suddenly add when you have prowess creatures, it suddenly adds a buff to all your creatures or your other creature with prowess. Because it was... Oh, no, it was blocking a 4, so it needed more. It did need the full giant growth. Ooh. It's tempting to try to wait till I have, like, another elf in play to play this. I don't think we're supposed to. If I draw another 2-drop, I do. That's for sure. We would play another 2-drop. And then play this out, and then play this on a later turn. Especially because they go well together. Like, this becomes a 5-3 trample. I mean, they might have a haste creature to joust. I probably am supposed to discard a land. If we never draw another land, we're going to be mad, but usually it's the right call. I may have been less willing to do it if I had a double green card in my hand. I do love this signpost. Okay, luckily we did draw it, but it's a tap land. Hopefully joust through... I guess we actually attack here. Yeah. Hopefully joust through can kill the scavenger. They do get that annoying trigger first. Let's let that... Letting it resolve first. It's like, there's a greater chance they have interaction, but they also make a choice with this trigger before it gets jousted. You know what I mean? I think we're probably supposed to cast it now. See what they got. Good. I am thankful that it died. Less thankful that they got 2 loot triggers before it happened. That's what makes that card good, is you get a loot trigger up front. So even if I had killed it, like, immediately, it would have already given them value. Flash something in. Hopefully it's just a trade. Might not be, though. Well, they need 2 spells for it not to be a trade. Or a trick. Yeah. So, I think we play the Ranger. These have felt pretty good, overall. You know, I think I gave them a... I mean, I wouldn't say they're much better than a C based on 1 draft. But our deck, between having elf payoffs and cards that make multiple bodies, it's like, you know, it's gone pretty well. That's a sweet way to use Macabre Waltz, that's for sure. Okay. I think we play the other Ranger, because then once either of these buffs happens, it is way more impressive. This might get Essence scattered, no? No Essence has been scattered. The +3/+0 trick, plus they make me discard a card. Yeah, that's about what's about to happen. And they get a treasure. Oh. Stab I can live with. I mean... Yeah. Stab I can definitely live with. They have Threshold now is the bad news. So this is now a 3/3 with Death Touch. Don't love it. Oh god, they have Kiora. That is very bad. So if she attacks, they get an 8/8. So I need to draw a Braid. Or the game's basically over, I would say. I think that's probably a safe bet. They do only get the 8/8. It's legendary, so, well, it's kind of like it has Vigilance, I guess. And I can kill Kiora in combat at least, but they end up getting the trigger. Yeah. Well, I'm kind of thinking I play 2 Gnarlid colonies and attack them. And then I can still kill Kiora in combat, but they're going to have an 8/8. But they'll be at 12, so we have like a puncher's chance a little bit. Not really, though. Because I have to kill her when she attacks, more or less. Yeah, let's play both colonies. I think this deck looks the sweetest of all of them, and when you get the Signpost and Kiora, you're kind of going to be in business. There's nothing I can do about an 8/8 in this deck. That is one thing, like, maybe I should have left the Death Toucher in, you know? So, I don't think we double block her because, well, no, we probably do, just to be safe. Alright, she's gone, but Scion of the Deep is here, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, we haven't seen that card at all. Oh my god, they played a Tatyova too. I overlooked that. I love their deck. These are like my two favorite signposts in the set, and they have both of them. Let's see. I mean, Dauntless Veteran does let us swing for like a bunch next turn, plus the buff on this. I mean, if we could find the flying trick or something, it's not impossible for us to find lethal. It's just highly unlikely. Especially because they're going to like play other things and gain life. So... yeah, this deck not having removal, I mean, it's its biggest vulnerability. Because if we had, like, I mean, we have removal, but it's like Joust Through and Abrade, both of which are surprisingly tricky to use. One is situational, and the other one needed red mana that we don't always draw. So we go to 13. Yeah, Stab is really good against Dauntless Veteran, too. Another one of these 3-mana 2/2s, yeah. Bound to happen eventually. That means we lose. Yeah, there's not really... I mean, right? It's not like we have an out here. But sure, let's play Elvish Archdruid. Does drop him to 7. I mean, that's not nothing. They have the two best, my two favorite signposts in play at the same time. Oh, why are you gonna go? I wouldn't go so slow. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think it's fun sometimes when you're in their situation to be like, I'm gonna just attack with my Scavenger and just love all my triggers and be super happy about things. But, like... you know, you kind of can't. Yeah. It's a blowout. If we didn't have to block there, I wouldn't have, but we did. I could have single blocked, I guess. If I had one more mana, it would be pretty funny how many bodies I could put in play here, but we'll just play our elite. At least make them sweat a little that we have giant growth here, you know? They do have to block. Oh, never mind. They have food, so they don't have to. Darn it. Yep, we lose. It was very up and down, our deck. That is for sure. I think it was pretty good overall, but, like, if we could switch out a couple of, like, mediocre, like, overall, I'd say the, where is it? This did not feel very good. The fact it couldn't combo with our other Hydra definitely was, like, a big bummer. So, yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't run that again. I had a feeling it wouldn't be that good, and I didn't think it was going to be that good in the set review. I mean, you know, you could do worse, I guess, but when you already have, like, other really good high curve things. Cards I was impressed with, though, include, like, the Pack, which is a card I was high on going into the set. Our Elf thing kind of came together in a pretty real way, overall. The 3-mana 2/2s, as I speculated in the set review, do feel like liabilities. Like, against red and black, there is, like, a very good chance your opponent untaps, kills it for a mana. We were lucky to go off at the Unicorn a couple times when that didn't happen, but this deck has 3 of those 3-mana 2/2s, kind of 4. This one's okay because you at least have another body. But the ones that don't do anything right away, with the way this set looks, like I said in the set review, probably liabilities, and I think the way it felt is that they're going to be liabilities. I didn't love Gnarlid Colony. It was okay. You know, we ran it out as a super mediocre 2-drop. I guess the trample it gave us was sort of instrumental in one game. That's for sure. We never drew, or we never got to play Felidar Savior, which is a little sad. But yeah, I mean, this trick felt good. Didn't really get to go off with this landfall card, but we did, you know, we saw the ups and downs of Mossborn Hydra as I predicted in the draft. We did have a game where it ran away with things, and there was a game where if we just drew 2 lands instead of random cards, it would have given us lethal, which that's always fun. It's fun to turn your top decks into massively impactful things, and that's like the best part about landfall and limited is suddenly even top decks are good, lands are good. But yeah, it's pretty fun overall. This will be the first draft video. Hopefully do a little bit better in the next one, though.